Hey Matthew, what's up? Got Jan here. We are going to do a quick teardown of what you submitted to us here. So there is a video inside of the training here called 5 Stages of Awareness. I think you should really go back and review it. It might give you some more context after what I tell you here, because when we look at the creatives, right, the first thing that I see is the word SEO everywhere, and all these are going to cold audiences, right? What you're doing here is you're making an assumption. You're making an assumption that people want SEO, that they care about SEO, that they're interested in SEO, and that they care about what their SEO ROI would be, and that they care about getting it for free. I actually don't like having the word free and big here everywhere, because it kind of cheapens what the offer actually is. And in reality, again, the only time to me that this offer would really work is if somebody has been to the website, if you've identified them as being interested, AKA lower in the funnel, AKA what middle of awareness stages in terms of the 5 stages of awareness, that until they identify themselves as being interested in SEO, then the word SEO should not be anywhere. So when we go through and we look at your ad copy and we look at your images and we look at your landing pages, right, it says the word SEO ROI everywhere. And again, just in terms of running this directly to cold traffic with people who have no idea who you are or what you do, or even you really knowing what they do, we don't want to put the word SEO on here, right? So that's kind of number one. Jan, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, so basically, can you go back to the creatives really quick?
Yep.
So yeah, basically also, I mean, the main thing that you really have here that's a hidden gem is kind of like data-backed forecasting all the way on the banner to the right. But when people basically already read all the way down, their skepticism is basically already elevated, right? Because as Ryan was saying, the 2022, your unique thing right now within those ads, or how you have positioned it, is kind of like 2022 SEO ROI, and that doesn't really tell a business owner anything, right?
Sorry, it's not sexy. It's not enticing. It's not interesting. Yeah.
Exactly. What I quite like, and what Ryan also liked, was the banners that say this process got us 650% in conversions. But what's key in there, if you want to put that into a banner, is kind of like mentioning what that 650% relates to. Does it mean, let's say, that you increase the conversion rate from 2% to 10%? Does it mean you grew traffic from 4K to 95K? What does that percentage mean? Right? Because the percentage alone doesn't mean that much. And right now, the biggest thing is the percentage there, and the smallest is the graphic. So I would actually make the graphic a lot bigger and the percentage a lot smaller, so you can actually show that. So you can actually show that growth.
Yeah, I have a couple comments on this too. So, like, to us as SEOs, in 12 months, this is a lot, but to most people, 12 months is a really long time. Like, so I would not put the time frame here. That's the problem with SEO, is that, like, people want, like, again, go back to the offer design framework. What do they want? They want it fucking yesterday, So 12 months is way too long for anyone. It's just not enticing. And then also this line here, I don't like, because this is an implied that what they click on is going to be a sales pitch. So, like, anytime that we can do the same for your site, it would be more like, find out if your site is eligible for the same type of growth, right? Where it's 490%. And again, I don't think, what do you think, Jan? Conversions or traffic?
Traffic, I think, because that's what's in their mind right now. I mean, yeah. Traffic. Also, just to add to this, I mean, I don't think this is even necessary, because the traffic projection tool is something unique. It's something that people haven't seen before. It's something that SEO clients aren't, let's say, used to seeing from agencies. So you can actually go straight in and say 490% increase in organic sessions thanks to the traffic projection tool. Yeah. Or what we give to client first is this traffic projection tool. Basically, this is how any SEO campaign starts before they even become a client, right? Because no one, going back to the stages of awareness, like if you watch that video, you're going to be able to differentiate between a problem-aware customer and problem solution-aware customer, right? And by basically giving them the traffic projection tool, you're talking to them in a completely different way than any other agency is talking to them. That's why this works so well. And you can use the data-backed forecasting model in order to basically call their attention. Now, if you want, Ryan, let's go over to the ad copy.
Hold on 1 second here too. So also for context, Matthew, like we're focusing on the traffic projection here. The traffic projection ads are the ones that I think that you should focus in on as opposed to the booking a call ones. There's just a lot less friction here in terms of getting people interested in getting the book. So, technically, I would probably call the traffic projection in this case a macro. We actually just, if you go to our website, like this is working so well for us, insider information, that we made the main call to action on our website, the traffic projection analysis. We're like kind of getting rid of our standard proposal stuff, just for some context, right? So like it's just a lot easier because we have this kind of like micro macro offer of this tool as opposed to just going straight directly to, again, like stuff that unless they are in market for these things, like that's the great thing about the traffic projection tool is that it takes people from not in market to in market, right? Because the offer is so enticing and it's very sexy and it's very interesting that like we're not talking about like a service that brings in more traffic. We're not talking about a hack. We're basically saying we're trying to fill a void inside of them that's saying we can help you understand what you don't know, right? There's stuff out there that you don't know, and we can help you to stop this concept of loss aversion, right? Like I literally put it up here on our website, right? The call to action on this button is stop losing money. Right, it has nothing to do with SEO, and this is something that we'll play with over time. But you get the point, right? The point is that we're not just going after and saying, assuming where we know where they are. We're trying to use the tool as a way to wedge our way in based on where they are right now. So I don't really love meme ads, but I do think that this one kind of does. Kind of what Jan said, right? It kind of does stick a little bit more in terms of where they are and where they need to be in that sense. All right, Jan, let's pull up and look at.
So just to add to this really quick, Matthew, a really good exercise as well is to basically just open up a Google Doc and just do like a brain download in regards to the pains agency owners are having, right? I mean, what do they currently don't like about SEO firms? They don't like to sign 12-month contracts. They like transparency. They like to know exactly what's being done. They like to know what type of keywords they will rank for. They like to know which type of keywords you're working on. They like to look into your link building strategies so they understand what's happening. All of that, right? So also what Ryan has open here, like even niching down, like to SaaS companies, to e-commerce companies. What are the pains that those companies are actually experiencing right now, and how can you start the actual ad with a simple question or with a simple statement, right, in regards to basically raising the attention of that customer and for them to say, yes, this is me, right? And you don't even have to spend another 2 or 3 lines explaining anything. You can say introducing the traffic projection tool. It does this and that. If you want in on this. If you want in on this, the same as we use it for all of our clients, we'll run a website analysis for you. Click here to schedule the call, and you can run them straight to the calendar. 2 little lines, just as we have it on our side, as Ryan just brought it up, and people will start converting.
Yeah. So I'm not going to look at these macro ads because these again are going after the non-traffic projection ones. So I'm just going to pull up and these are all solid, right? But I see these a little bit more as remarketing. The paid ads one is interesting too, but I want to focus in here because otherwise we'll just there's too much information here. So this again, the headline here is making an assumption, right, that they want SEO, that they're in market for SEO, that they care about SEO. Instead, I would probably go with something a little bit more along the lines of like, stop losing market share to competitors, something like that, or like stop losing customers.
Yeah, customers probably.
Yeah, customers to competitors, right? This again in itself has that feeling of like a little bit of intrigue, that loss aversion, which is very powerful, versus the only people that are going to be interested in this are the very small amount of people that are right now soliciting proposals for SEO.
Or even another hook in there, Brian, to also put in there, like it's the same type, get the same type of traffic people are earning money for. It's the same type of traffic like people are paying thousands for, right? To kind of play a little bit about the PPC, I guess, PPC standpoint.
Yeah, this one here too. I mean, again, just knowing the market, if we're talking about, like, I know what you're trying to do here, but I think that I think that this data point, I mean, how do you feel about this data point, Jan? I don't feel like it really resonates.
40% of markets say content content is a very important part of the overall. Okay, he already lost me on that one at the middle. I mean, content marketing is something that's used very, very often. And very important part of the overall marketing strategy. If you want to put a statement in there, it needs to be a lot more punch in the face.
Yeah.
Of saying like 40% of marketers don't. I mean, 40% of marketers don't realize it, but they're losing traffic because of this and this, right?
Yeah.
Or it has been proven.
He used the word marketing in here 3 times the same sentence, which I think also just kind of makes the brain be like that or type this.
I mean, I know what he's trying to get at with the last question. Most have no idea what the ROI will be. I just think that can be packed all into a single statement.
There's 4 questions in a row.
Yeah.
You know, Jan, I got on you about this last week. There was 3 questions in a row. Like, like the question is meant to lead into something. This is almost kind of like berating them a little bit with questions. Like, no idea what it is. Do you know what your return is? Why are you leaving it a chance? We get it. Where do you even start? You know, it's just, and then another question down here. There's too many questions. You know, I think you use one question and that's it. And you use that question to kind of set up the rest of the copy in a sense.
And it goes back to what we were just talking a minute ago. It's not even necessary with the traffic projection tool. One question at the top and then leading straight into the TPA tool is more than sufficient.
Yeah, I mean, you can see how we did it here, right? What's the best way to acquire new customers for your SaaS company or e-commerce company? Hands down, it's SEO, right? It just, that question sets up the rest of the copy underneath here, right? And then it just goes into support that argument, right? So again, when we come back here, when we look at this again, this concept, very simple concept of hook, agitate, basically solution, and then call to action, right? Like the hook that I know that you want to go after here, which I think is the right hook, which is basically like, hey, like, you know, SEO is important, you know, content is important, but like, you don't know what you're getting from it, right? So like, what we want to try and do is boil this down into a very, very simple, easiest statement as possible, right? So if the one that we're going after here, and I also think that you should be targeting this to a specific niche, right? Like, I don't know if I see your positioning in here. That's another big thing, right? Is that like, you should definitely have a very specific positioning, right? Like another very easy way to do this is 490% plus 490% organic sessions for a software company, for like, and also putting in the name of the company here. And then like, so like the like organic sessions for, you know, like the blueprint training, like, and then down here, like a leading SaaS company, right? Something like that. So it also helps to qualify. Like, I don't see that in any of your stuff here in terms of the qualifying, in terms of who you're talking to, right? You're basically just going out there and saying, hey, every business out there, like SEO is like, it's too weak. It's too weak of an offer. It's too weak of a hook. It's too weak of a position. It's not going to get people's attention.
And if you don't necessarily want to niche down by industry, niche down by pain, right? I mean, like the one that was most successful for us was basically one that started with let's have a little fun with your current SEO agency, and we kind of threw rocks at them, right? So you need to, but basically like find out exactly what your 2022 SEO ROI will be. You're talking to absolutely everyone, right? You're talking to a very broad pain. So you need to niche down either on a very specific pain or on a very specific niche. One of those two things.
Yeah. I think that's what we want to focus on here. I mean, the targeting stuff, honestly, like Jan wanted to go to the targeting, but I think Matthew, go through these again. Like, honestly, ads start, everything really comes down to like the creative and the copy here and the targeting. Like, and honestly, some of these things might seem small, but these small changes, it's a butterfly effect. They have a huge impact. So like, just to summarize, right? Number one, definitely work on who you're talking to, right? And the pain point that you're trying to identify. Number two, go back through, review the copy, you know, definitely clean it up. And I would say also focusing on, if you're budget conscious, which it sounds like you are, just focus on the traffic projection tool ads for right now. This is what I can tell you firsthand, you're going to get better results with. We crush it. And again, like this first part here just needs to be a lot punchier and cleaned up. And then also again to, you know, getting rid of SEO ROI. Again, you can literally just look at what our landing pages say. It says your website is losing money, right? And we can prove it. Go ahead and steal
You
it.
can phrase that either the same or in a different way.
Yeah, we don't really care. And then also the creative, just making sure that this matches through.
Even before, sorry to interrupt, Brian, even before you write the ads again out, Matthew, just basically like take a Google Doc and write out hooks, right? Write out 6 or 7 different hooks on how you would start the ad, with a question, with a statement, with whatever you can think of, right? And then send those hooks to us, and we'll review those hooks. And from there you can finish up. You can finish writing the ad, because try to come up with a bunch of with a couple of angles, or with a bunch of hooks that that work, and we'll take it from there.
Yep. If you have any questions, Matthew, let us know. Thanks, man.
Thank you.